The continuous improvement process of the theory of constraints is the iterative 5 focusing steps. Step 1 is to identify the constraint. In project environments, it's quite difficult. In production environments, it's quite easy. But obviously, it's the first step, because otherwise you're not going to be able to apply the theory of constraints. Once you've identified it, step 2, you exploit it better. And that you can do immediately, within an hour, within a day. You go and have a look at it and see how you can produce more. And typically you can get 20% more or less immediately. And that's just because you're concentrating everybody's attention on this one particular resource rather than spreading everything thin throughout the organization, right? So you just look at this resource and see how it could produce more, and you get maybe 20% more. Step 3, subordinate, is to make sure that all the other non-constraint resources in the organization, which are 99% of the organization, right, since there are one or very few constraints in the system, they have to work only according to what is required for the constraint of the market. Right? So they have to learn to stop working intelligently at the right moment. Right? They don't want to be fully utilized. You don't want maximal utilization of these resources. That is subordination, and in fact, it's one of the more difficult parts of the theory of constraints. Next step, the 4th step, is to elevate. That's to say, you're allowed to spend time and money now to get more out of the constraint, either by recruiting more people, buying a new machine, and that sort of thing. That's an easy step to do. And as you do that, obviously, you're getting more and more out of the constraint, and at some stage, somewhere else in the system, somebody's going to run out of capacity, right? And they're going to become the bottleneck. So step 5, you identify where this new bottleneck is, and you repeat the process, right? And a warning stage is that you've got to keep doing this iterative process and don't let inertia, self-satisfaction prevent the system improving continuously. Okay, so normally it's an iterative process. I do believe that level 2 of the theory of constraints is in fact to stop one day and think to yourself, maybe there is a least bad or best constraint in my system, and I'm going to organize my company around that constraint rather than go bottleneck hunting all the time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.